Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me. Typical bloody cat is coming up on the table to annoy me while I do a review. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. It is about the 8th of November, and the beer that I'm going to review now, and probably after this one, will not be coming up until December because they are classed as Christmas beers. Yeah, let me just do that. Me cat's trying to get behind the curtains to be nosy. Gonna have a look outside. Yeah, basically Christmas label. I'm classing them as Christmas beers, so that's why they're going to be coming up in December time. But I have nothing to review, so I'm sitting here. I'm indoors on my own. The wife's doing a movie night with the grandkids. My tea is on, so I've got a bit of time, so why not do a review? Anyway, these beers were sent to me, or this one and the next one were sent to me from Liam at Deep in Brews Reviews. So a big thank you to Liam for that. We do beer swaps, and hence the reason we swap so many beers or send so many beers. It's not just because Liam's really, really wealthy and won the lottery about 3 weeks ago. That's not true. It's not true. Just joking. That's why we send beers. We do swap. So the beer that we have is from a brewery that I was introduced to from Liam. They're out in Nottinghamshire, or Nottingham, however you want to, either way. And it's from Pheasantry Brewery. And what we've got is their Merry Christmas IPA. It's coming in at 5% ABV. Sort of a festive label. Do I like it? I don't know. It looks a bit plain, doesn't it, really? I'm not against it, but it does look a little bit plain. I do like the pheasant on the front. 500ml bottle. Not sure how much they were. Probably about the £2, £2.50 mark, because I think that's the sort of going rate for these sort of beers. Could be a little bit more. But yeah, looking forward to it. It's just come out of the fridge. My fridge is set about 4 or 5 degrees. Probably a little bit cooler. Was going to do the other beer first, but that's a proper dark beer. So that is currently on the side. So yeah. The beers I had from them before, I've had 2 others, pale ale and something else, I can't remember off the top of my head, but decent, and I'm hoping that these ones are going to be quite decent too. The only issue I have with Christmas beers, and Liam has literally just messaged me and his thing's gone off the screen now. The only thing I have against some of these Christmas beers, especially from real ale breweries, are the fact that it's a different beer, just labelled different, and some of them aren't really Christmassy. Basically, it's a label with no sort of Christmas flavours or anything. Will I get that with this? We'll have to wait and see. So, I don't have a Pheasantry brewery glass, so I'm going to whack it in the old school sort of stonehouse glass. So let's get cracked open and see what we get. Like I say, a big thank you to Liam. Go and check out his channel, Deep in Brews Reviews. Let's get drinking. A little bit of smoke on the opening, and very nice to see that it hasn't gone wild. Liam will know what I'm on about when I say that. But it's going to take him till December to find out. So it's looking typical, very IPA-ish, sort of traditional sort of IPA. Are we going to get a Christmas feel to this? I quite honestly doubt it. I think it's just branded for the Christmas season rather than actually being Christmassy. So beer in a glass, it's a non-nucleated glass, so there is just the odd bubble going up, so that doesn't surprise me being a non-nucleated glass. Amber golden in colour with just about a finger of head. I was quite gentle on the pour, but it looks decent enough. It's definitely sort of unfiltered, or it's definitely filtered. So let's dive in with the nose, see what we get. Malty, I'm expecting, grainy, a little bit of hoppy, very trad style sort of IPA. Let's have a sniff. Honestly, nothing. Oh yeah. Yeah, getting that hoppy sort of bite, sort of that typical sort of English hop aroma. I wouldn't really say I'm picking any fruity notes up. Malty, dry, sort of standard English IPA aroma. Nothing nasty in there. Just a little bit bland, but that could be me because I'm not swirling it very much because it's filled up. But we'll get the rest in. We'll try and get a bigger head on it. Again, it's the sort of beer that is probably much better on tap. But looking at it, it looks like it should, if you like. So let's dive in. Pheasantry Brewery out of Nottingham, Merry Christmas IPA coming in at 5% ABV. Cheers. Yeah. First impressions, it's all right. Will it grow on me? Will it get better? We'll have to wait and see. It's another one of them beers, I think, better on cask or tap than out the bottle. Yeah, I think on cask or something, the body's not poor, but it is light, and I think that cask sort of poured out a cask, I think that would give this beer a much fuller sort of body and make the drinking experience better. Carbonation is busy. Does give it a little bit of a rough sort of feel, but certainly not killing the beer. Again, trad style beer on cask, the carbonation would be lower, the body would be fuller, and this beer would, again, I think, gain much more in that representation of it. On the taste, I mean, IPA, it's very hard with IPAs these days because there's so many sort of different ways an IPA can be. But I think generally a lot of people think of fruity notes. This is very old school, in my opinion. It's very old school malty IPA rather than sort of massively hoppy. Hoppy note, malty. It's neither sweet nor is it bitter. You could call that well balanced, but there doesn't seem to be enough of either one. It doesn't really give you an IPA feel to it. There's no real fruity notes. If I wanted to be really harsh with this beer, there are points I could knock. I don't want to do that. It's for an IPA, it's a little bit bland in my opinion. There isn't really enough going on. Like I say, it's malty, hoppy, but I'm sort of getting a bitter feel with the hops in this, to the point that, how can I put it? I'm not getting them big fruity notes from it, from the hops. It's leaving me feeling like it's like a bitter, but with just a slight sort of hedgerow feel to it, I'm going to say. There's a graininess about it. It's drinkable enough. I think it drinks at 5%. There's flavour in there that warrants a sort of 5% beer, if you know what I mean. But nothing that sort of stands out for you to pick out. It's malty, grainy and hoppy without actually sort of giving you any big sort of flavours to latch onto for me. I mean, it's drinkable enough, but it is a little bit bland. There's nothing really wrong with it as such, as a standalone beer, but nor is there anything exciting or anything to really pick out about it, in my opinion. Out of the 3 beers I've had, this one and 2 other ones, I'm certain it's 2 other ones, so apologies if I got that wrong. I'm going to say this is the worst one out of the 3 I've had so far. It just seems a little bit underwhelming. Yeah, drinkable, nice enough, almost forgettable. It's just very average in my opinion, without being anything offensive. And that's all I can say about it really. It's just an IPA with nothing else sort of there. So for me, Pheasantry Brewery and their Merry Christmas IPA, I've got to say it's a little bit underwhelming. Even for a trad brewery, I expected something a little bit extra. And for me, this just feels a little bit average, but drinkable enough. So, pardon me. A big thank you to Liam for sending it. If you're thinking of getting this beer, depending on the beers you like, I would imagine there's a massive market for this, with the flavours and tastes. It's just one of them. It's almost supermarket sort of IPA. Would imagine it'd be much better on cask. If you've had it before, let me know your thoughts. I've waffled on for nearly 11.5 minutes. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Apologies for that. And I will see you again soon on another one. Up the blades!